What's good, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Hurls and Smallz show, coming to you guys with nothing to talk about in the NFL. Actually, that's not true. There were a few things that happened in the NFL. We do have a couple of different topics to talk about, but as you can see by the title, we are going to be talking about every single division until we finish it out. And obviously, we're starting with the AFC North, as what the title says. We're going to be breaking down each division, talking about each team in the division, who we think is going to win the division, and so much. So
much more.
More. Thank you. But before we get into any of that, make sure you guys go down, like, comment, and sub if you're new. Head over to the TikTok if you haven't already. And Brady,
you gotta stop. You gotta stop promoting the TikTok because they going over there like, what might we see new? There's nothing. There's nothing.
You're right. I'll stop.
TikTok starting back June 1st. Daily TikToks coming in June.
Okay, bet. But how you doing,
man? I'm okay. May started, and in my mind, it's like, this is the time. I ain't gonna say nothing to him, but I'm gonna chase him down the steps. And dog,
hey, Dark texted me. I might go find the text. Dark texted me like 3 days into May or some shit, and he was like, "It may be or it might have been even a couple days ago. It may be a close race between you and Smallz." And I literally told him, "Stop fucking playing with me. Stop playing." I said, "Stop playing with me," because it's just not gonna end up close. It was close. Yeah, here it is. You and Brady might have comp this month, like between you on Step Up. And I sent him a straight face emoji. I said, "That's literally my face right now. Check back in at the end of May. Stop playing with me." And he says, "I'm not saying you're finna lose, but like it might be a close race for now." And I said, I'm glad you said for now. And that's what it was.
Nah, it's gonna stay close. It's gonna stay close.
Let me go see.
I ain't gonna have no 300 days.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Right now the race is 114 to 88. 114,000 to 88,000. So not terrible. But, not enough.
Still could be better.
Not enough.
It will be better.
Okay.
It'll be better.
I hope so.
I'm gonna beat you.
Because we may have to do triple or nothing. Because
because the double or nothing was June. If you go back and watch, I said double or nothing in June.
What?
And you said June. Okay, bet.
Okay, now I know I definitely didn't say that shit.
You want to bet that you ain't say that shit?
Actually, June? Yes. June? Maybe I was like tweaking and I thought June was like the next month. But all right, fuck it. I don't care what month it is. It won't matter. It will not matter. So fine.
No, it's gonna matter.
Double it. So May literally means nothing. May means nothing. It's just about June.
It's still good because it matters to you because by June 1st, you got your goal.
Mm-hmm.
How we looking?
I haven't stepped on the scale in a couple of days, to be honest. But I think I'm doing well. I've been eating well. I haven't been, eating anything too terrible. I've been walking, going to the gym, getting my steps and all that shit. So I think I'm doing fine. I'll check back in with you tomorrow or next time we record or whatever. But I will have an update for you. But I was trending in the right direction, but I just haven't been on the scale in a couple of days.
I've been doing okay with like my eating and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But every day recently, like a couple weeks ago, or I guess a couple months ago, it had become a daily thing to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get Boss Man a hot chocolate. And I would just get a coffee.
Okay.
But now, like, we got the loaders coming back, and he's like, you might as well get a dozen donuts. And every time it's like, the donuts are just, Brady. And donuts are like the worst thing in the world for you because they're not filling.
I don't like donuts.
And they're horrific calorically.
For sure. Yeah, you'll eat 10 of them and still be, starving.
You don't like donuts?
Mm-mm. Not a donut guy.
Hey.
I'm not a huge sweets guy, to be honest. I'm definitely not a cake guy. I do not fuck with cake at all. Actually, no. A strawberry shortcake is honestly the only cake I will fuck up a strawberry shortcake. So it has to stay away from me. Otherwise, I'll eat the entire thing. But not a cake guy.
If I wasn't a big sweets guy, I'd be like 145 pounds. Because I just don't eat anything else.
Like, I like brownies are the thing for me, I think. So I guess if you want sweets, I guess. So, but brownies are the thing. It's like I've had 2 boxes of brownies. I literally told my friend the other day because I've had 2 boxes of brownies sitting in my like cabinet since December, like Christmas. I wanted to make them for Christmas, but I was like, I know if I made them and left them in the house, I'd eat them in a day and a half. So I was telling my friend when I was at his house like a week ago, like, yo, I've been having these boxes of brownies in my cabinet for months. Can I bring them over here? You make them. I just take one and you keep the rest of them. Do what you want with them, just so I just don't see them. Because if I see them and if I know they're in the house, I will eat the entire tray. So yeah, they've been sitting there because I know what I'll do if I make them. So I'm not even gonna tempt myself.
I've been trying to be good on like my caloric deficit. So I had a pizza for lunch. So only thing I ate for dinner was like 2 cuties, a protein yogurt, and then like a protein one of those little shakes.
Yogurt? You're a yogurt guy?
Anyways, but I got like this popcorn maker, and the only thing it does is make popcorn. And I had like a variation of one when I was younger, and it was like my favorite machine in the house.
Mhm.
And I cannot wait to use it, but like I'm not gonna
Okay.
make it after I eat a bunch of stuff because popcorn's not great for you. So this weekend I'm excited. This is gonna be one of my meals. This is gonna be lunch.
Okay, enjoy. I don't fuck with popcorn, but enjoy.
What the
What do you
fuck?
like? What do you like? Don't even. I hate popcorn. I think it's
Little
gross.
dude, like Little Caesars.
Little Caesars, great. It's the best chain pizza. It's the best chain pizza, hands down,
No,
hands down,
no.
hands down, hands down.
Domino's is so much better.
Domino's is might be the worst. Might be the worst chain pizza. Like Domino's is actually shit. It's actually shit. If it's not a
We used to
thin
get
crust Domino's pizza, it's shit.
we used to get Pizza Hut like when we would work 17-hour days. We'd get Pizza Hut for dinner, and it was like a reward.
Mm-hmm.
We're just eat Pizza Hut with the homies. And then Boss Man got a fascination for Pizza Hut this winter, and we would go like every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every week, 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like the thought of Pizza Hut just makes me furious,
I don't like
and
Pizza
it's
Hut
kind of
either.
sad. No, it's not good anymore.
No.
It go out of business and it make me happy.
Little Caesars till I die, baby.
That's horrible. That's such a bad opinion. But big life change for my friend. New job.
For you, you're talk to the people about your new house, new background. The people clicked onto this and saw you in a new area and like, what the fuck is going on? Before we get to me, let's talk about you.
I bought a house.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I'm like 70% of the way moved in. I still
Okay.
got to get some stuff. Like I don't have when I take a shower, I don't have one of the little rugs to step out on, and that drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a hair dryer yet, which I like using those. So that's frustrating, but it is what it is. I've been staying here since Sunday, and today's Thursday,
Was
so
the first
what's
night
that,
like
5 days?
weird, or was it like peaceful?
The
Was it
first night,
a weird feeling? Was it like a sigh of relief? What was the feeling?
I stayed here Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to the grocery store yet. Didn't have anything in the house. And it hit about 8 p.m. and I was just thinking to myself, man, I'm hungry. There's nothing in those cupboards though, so I
Mm-hmm.
just went to McDonald's. But
Mom didn't stuff the cupboards. She didn't make anything, so it's not. It's all on you now. Like it's all up to you. Like there's no reason for you going to check the fridge because you know what you bought. You know there's nothing in there. I didn't put shit in there.
I got my own groceries for years though, so I mean that's
Oh,
not
okay,
much
okay, okay,
different.
okay,
And
okay.
I always made my own dinner because mom's and her husband eat at like 9 at night and then just go straight to bed, which I've been telling them forever is horrible for you.
Uh-huh.
But I like to eat dinner at like 6, so
Okay.
I just
All right. Well,
not much of a
I'm
change.
happy to see that you're finally moved in because you've been talked to. This is not the first house because I remember there's say you were holy shit, you were saying there was a house you loved, like when you first started looking. This is not that house, right?
This is like the 6th house we looked at.
Wow. Oh, okay.
And I told myself for so long, I didn't even look in the city because I didn't want to live here. And
Mm-hmm.
I finally was just like, man, I'm not going to find anything closer to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to move out, so I'm just going to have to bite the bullet. And then last Friday was the first day I could move in. I came here all by myself, and I was so frustrated. I hated everything about this house. Like
Mm-hmm.
nothing was making me happy. And I don't know if it's because I was tired from work or if it's because I settled in this city or what it was, but I'm glad I no longer have those opinions because I was ready to burn the place down.
How far are you from where you used to stay?
my mom's house is 10 minutes from here, and then work is 12 minutes that same way. So I'm 22 minutes from work.
Okay. Not terrible. Not terrible.
I drive by my mom's place every like to and from work. It's literally the same road.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear. I'm happy to see that you're
But
finally doing
the people here don't know how to fucking drive, and it pisses me off, dude. Every day it's been like something new that I'm having to. This morning I was following a truck that was going 43 in a 55. I drive 64 in a 55.
Okay.
So naturally, I passed this truck. Me passing them apparently pissed them off because they. What?
Whoa! I just started hearing like 3 of you. Like the echo just got insane. It's like everything in your.
That.
It's like everything in your room just went away, and it was a crazy echo for a second. Speak.
Is it better?
Yeah, it's better. I don't know what just happened, but I heard like 10 of you, bro. It was crazy. Continue though.
Everybody just clicked off. But I passed the truck, and then I frustrated them apparently because then they were just on my ass. I was going 64, and they were no longer going 43. They were right behind me. People just irritate me. But back to you. Got a new job.
I did. I started.
Are we thinking it's gonna be okay?
For sure, absolutely. I had orientation yesterday, being Wednesday, and it was, it was whatever. It's orientation. You're just doing a bunch of paperwork. You're on the computer doing those little modules and shit, whatever. Listening to people tell you about the company and shit like that. But today was my like first day like training out. They're actually doing the shit. And I always like jobs like kind of just throw you out there. It's like you have that one day of doing orientation, and it's like next day, all right, it starts. So I was out there, and they had some guy like going with me, and it was fine. Like it's nothing too crazy. It's just like they give you a work phone. So, and it's kind of just tricky to use because it's like just the apps and shit are just, I guess, outdated kind of. So it's like it's kind of tricky to use. Like clocking in was weird, and like so what I do, I think we went to like 13 different stores today. I worked like 10 and a half hours today. We went to like 13 different stores to go like check out the Coke products and shit like that. Make sure our shit is hitting the shelves, count the numbers and all that other shit. Make sure we have the right amount of product and so on and so forth. Order shit if there's not enough of it. So we went to like 13 different stores. And it's like, it's weird because like sometimes the truck won't be there. So you have to leave that store and go back, and you have to call your manager at every like stop or whatever. So it is a little weird, but I think as time goes on, I will get used to it. But I did enjoy it because it's a lot of downtime and freedom, to be honest, because I don't ever report to a home base or a headquarters or anything. It's just I just go to the store to start my shift. Like say I'm starting at a fucking 7-Eleven, I just drive to the 7-Eleven and hit start shift, and I start my shift. I don't have to check in with anybody or see a manager before I start working or see a manager before I leave. Hey, I'm heading out, because that's what I always did at every job I've had. It's like, hey, I'm about to go. Did you need anything else? I just clock out and go home now, so I don't have to do anything. Well, unless somebody else needs help, then I help them on like their route or something. But like it's like so much freedom, and it's like I'm driving and be like, say I take like an hour at this store. It's like, okay, now I take 10 minutes. So it feels like I get a break after every like hour and a half or 2 hours. It feels like I get a 10-minute break when I drive to the next store. So it kind of like, it was kind of refreshing because it didn't feel like like my feet did hurt because I was standing a lot, but I got a bunch of breaks in between. Cause like I said, we're driving from store to store. So it didn't feel like that much. Like I worked 10 and a half hours, but I wouldn't be able to tell you if I didn't know, like keep track of time. I wouldn't have been able to tell you it was 10 and a half hours. I would have said it was a normal shift or like 7 hours or something, because I just had so much like free time in between. So it's really just like free and, just laid back, I would say. So I really enjoy that. But yeah, I got my Coke merch on right now. The lady at the orientation gave us a bunch of Coke shirts. I got some more over here. But yeah, it seems like good vibes. I was telling Joe, I think it was, or Punks, it feels like, kind of like family vibes, and like everybody, because you're kind of all working together in a sense. It's like, even though I will never see any of my coworkers, I'll never see my managers. It feels like we're all connected and working together because the truck drivers drop off the stuff so we can put it. Then somebody else comes in and counts. So it's like we're all working together while never like crossing paths or anything like that. So it's like I'll never see him, but I know Jeff was in here today doing this, but I'll never see him. So it's a fun vibe. I was telling the lady at orientation, I forget how it came up. Fuck. But I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, she was like, oh, I'll never have Pepsi another day in my life after after starting working for Coke or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I applied to Pepsi first, and they declined, and they denied me. So it's Coke to the day I die. That's what I told her. She started laughing, and she was like, that's exactly how I'm gonna remember you from now on, just because you said it's Coke to the day I die, and I mean that. Fuck you, Pepsi. You ain't want me, so it's Big Coke to the day I die, man. Fuck Pepsi. And that's all I got. The job has been great. But I go back
Mountain
in.
Dew's Pepsi though.
What's that?
Mountain Dew is
And I
Pepsi.
hate Mountain Dew. My mom loves it though. I hate Mountain Dew.
I don't really drink pop, but if I
Me
did Mountain
either.
Dew,
Yeah,
occasionally.
I don't fuck with Mountain Dew. But
What
yeah,
is Sprite? Who owns Sprite?
Sprite is Coke.
Okay, then shout out Coke, big Coke guy.
Yeah, man, the job's been great. Life has been great, as I've been saying for a while now. And yeah, can't complain. I want to get as many hours as I can working overtime and shit like that. But my boss from Winn Dixie texted me today. He was like, hey, are you going to be able to come in tomorrow? Meaning Friday. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, because I went in today at 8 and I left I clocked out at 7. So it's like I'm not gonna go to Winn Dixie to go to work from 7:30 to 11 to get 3.5 bullshit hours. I'm just not gonna do that to help you guys with the truck. It just doesn't make sense for me to do that. So I told him it really depends like on when I get off. It has to be a day by day basis. I was telling him, don't schedule me, but you can ask me like on truck days, hey, are you able to come in after work or something like that? And he was like, okay, I understand. But yeah, I was planning on doing both, but I don't think it's gonna work out, because like I said, I got off at 7 today. So if I got off anywhere near 7 tomorrow, there's no chance I go in. So I think it's just Coke through and through. Fuck you, Winn Dixie.
You get overtime.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, the
Must be
benefits
nice.
are the benefits are really good. There was a bunch of like insurance benefits, obviously like 401k, Roth IRA and shit like that. But yeah, overtime and shit like that, just discounts at other places like me and the guys, we had our vacation when we were planning our vacation. Georgia was one of our spots, and I was telling Punks about this. And Georgia, I think Atlanta to be specific, has the like Coke Museum or whatever, because that's where Coke was like founded or whatever. So he was saying like I would get in there for free, and I'd be able to bring people in for free. So if we decided to go to Georgia, but we decided fucking Orlando. If we decided to go to Georgia, that could have been something we do. In Disney Springs, there's a Coke store. I get, a percentage off over there. So, and also like I can order Coke products from our warehouse and get them at a super discounted price. I think I can get like 24, like a 24 case for like $9 or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty decent, bro. Pretty decent benefits. Shouts out to Coke.
That sounds a Coke for sure.
All right,
Football time.
football time. Let's do it.
So the plan for the next couple episodes, there's not a whole lot going on in the football world anymore. So Hurlins came up with a good idea of going division by division for the next 8 episodes, I guess. Just so every team gets talked about. It gives us a topic to cover while we're going through stuff. And we're just gonna go outlooks on every division, starting with the AFC North, NFC North next, and just bouncing back and forth. Before we get into that, Gabe Davis got released. Rest in peace.
Shouts out to you, Gabe Davis. I won't say rest in peace, but shouts out to you.
I saw people talking like he was a fucking bum, and he did his little thing, and
he's a good player. I just never liked him. I just never liked the Jags giving him that bag out of Buffalo, because people thought because he had that 4 touchdown game or whatever, he was
one
gonna
game.
be, yeah. But no, I never thought he was gonna be amazing. But he's a solid player.
And then the only other news I have, we can get straight into the AFC North. Darion is playing Among Us, so that's cool. George Pickens got traded with a 6th round pick to the Dallas Cowboys for a 3rd round pick and a 5th round pick.
I like this for the Cowboys. I really do. You get a for sure. I understand people say you could have drafted a guy, but no, you get a for sure guy. You get a deep threat, somebody next to CeeDee Lamb that can take the top off of a defense. Dak Prescott has another weapon to throw to. Now you have Dak, Jalen Blue, Jaden Blue, CD obviously, George Pickens, I'm forgetting his first name, but Ferguson.
Noah Ferguson.
That's his name? That doesn't sound right. Noah Ferguson, that's his name? That doesn't sound right.
No, what the fuck is his name?
No, I don't know if it's Ferguson. It might not be Ferguson. We're bad.
No, it's that Jake Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson. We're bad.
I know it was Ferguson. Who is Noah Ferguson? That's a person.
Clue. I have no clue who Noah Ferguson is. I have no clue. That's why I was like, no way.
It's not a person. It's a baseball player, but I don't know a fuck about baseball.
But yeah, you have some solid pieces over there now. And
shout out Terrence Ferguson too. You can't see me at all. Damn, I can't even look shit up.
But yeah, shout out to Terrence Ferguson. But yeah, I really like this a lot for the Cowboys. You add a dynamic receiver next to CeeDee Lamb. I think this is a great fit. If they can control him, and I don't think he's ever been too much of a hothead to where it's like he's gonna ruin anything you're doing on offense. He does have the occasional play where it's like he's gonna just fucking shove somebody or rip someone's helmet off or something after a play. But if you can keep him in check, you got a good one, Dallas. So I like this a lot for that.
That usually happens once the game's pretty much already over, anyways.
For sure.
I love it for Dallas. Love it for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are the Steelers doing?
It's like you traded for DK Metcalf just for him to replace George Pickens. I thought
you trade for DK and then make DK like the 5th highest paid receiver in all of football.
When you could have kept just kept George Pickens, they're basically the same player, and I understand George Pickens wants a new deal. But I guarantee you the deal you would have had to have given George Pickens would not have been the money you gave to DK Metcalf. But it is what it is. I don't know what the Steelers are doing over there anyway. I don't know what's the plan over there, but
I wanted to see them together so badly.
I did too.
I think they're the same tier of player, but I think they're so different in just like stature of receiver, because DK he's your slant guy, he's your across the middle guy. He can be your deep threat, but that's not really who DK is. George Pickens, you're throwing him the fucking ball down the field. As much as you want him to be able to get across and be decent after catch, you're just gonna throw it up to him and tell him to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
And they could play together so properly. Who's throwing them the ball? I don't know, because we have Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, and Will Howard as our quarterbacks now. And Calvin Austin and Scotty Miller, Robert Woods in the big 2025. Yeah. I mean, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? And as much as what's their tight end's name? Freiermuth. As much as I love Pat Freiermuth, it's not like he's a George Kittle. It's not like he's demanding a bunch of targets.
Because that guy's one of one.
All right, let me say, he's not like he's Brock Bowers.
He's one of many. But yeah, no, it was definitely weird for Pittsburgh because this happened at like 6 a.m. or something, I want to say. So I woke up and didn't realize it. Like I didn't because I was just scrolling my noties like I usually do when I wake up. And I didn't click into my Twitter, so like all of them didn't open up, so I didn't see it. So I just opened Twitter and I saw the trade and I was like, where the fuck did this come from? But yeah, it was definitely odd coming from Pittsburgh's side of things. But I like
old people wake up early.
Are you calling me
Jerry
old?
had probably been up for...
Oh, Jerry! No. I thought you were calling me old. Yeah, Jerry. Okay, for sure. I mean, finally he fucking does something. We were talking about Jerry Jones, and maybe this entices your guy to do something. We won't go there though.
We're not gonna go there.
Say shit right now, right? I can't even say shit right now. Jay, move on.
Let's just go straight into the Steelers, though. We're already talking about the AFC North. I mentioned their quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't go get Aaron Rodgers, wow, are they bogus?
Yeah, I have like a question or sentence for each team, and literally I had, what's the plan at quarterback for the Steelers? And it's like, no quarterback you bring in at this point is going to make you a contender or anything, but are we just going to settle for Mason Rudolph? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I never liked Aaron Rodgers. I always said it was going to happen, but at this point, go get Aaron Rodgers then. I never liked him going to Pittsburgh, but I always thought it was going to happen.
What the fuck was that? Go ahead. Sorry.
But I always thought it was going to happen. So it's like, at this point, just go do what you got to do. Go get Kirk Cousins. Go do something. You cannot go into next season with Mason Rudolph as your guy. And it's like, the Steelers, again, it's like, we're going to just be in the same cycle. We're going to continue the pattern of just being good enough to compete, give teams a tough time every now and then, have that defense, that steel curtain, but nothing else on the other side of the ball. Justin Fields should have been your guy coming into the season, but
Surely Caleb Johnson is RB1, right? You don't draft him in the third round
yeah,
to
I don't
play
think
Jalen Warren.
no,
I know they love Jalen Warren, and I think
I think it'll be a lot of split.
Kenny Galladay.
Shout
Holy
out Kenny
shit.
Galladay. He was a baller back in his day. Shout out Kenny Galladay. He was a baller. He was a baller.
I like Kenny Gainwell, not Galladay. Gainwell a lot, but I don't think he's an RB1 either. So
absolutely not.
Are we going into a backfield of 2 late round rookies? Does Will Howard just get us a day 1 chance?
If that's the plan, Pittsburgh's finishing last in the division. Fuck it. Give me the Browns over the Steelers.
That's my bold prediction. Steelers are finishing last in the division.
Wow.
You were saying midseason last year you didn't understand the direction of this team, and I kind of gave you a little pushback because they're always fighting. Mm-hmm. They always are in the playoffs and have a chance, but like what is the point of moving on from Justin? What is the point of moving on from Russ to go to these dudes? Yeah. And I'm sorry, but Skylar Thompson is not a better quarterback than Will Howard. And if you want to rock with Mason Rudolph, you might as well just forfeit every game and get the first pick, because what the fuck are we doing?
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. It's like just, and I don't even want to say pick your direction, because contending isn't even a direction for you anymore. That path has been blown up. It's not a direction for you anymore. So just fucking blow it up, Pittsburgh. You cannot just be okay with being a 10-7, 11-6 team. That's just we're over 500, so we did our job, and then we're into the playoffs, sneaking in and just getting our asses busted in the first round. Like, how many times are you gonna be okay with that before it's like, all right, let's just shake some shit up? And I was of that mindset, but I was not of the mindset that meant Mike Tomlin had to go because he wanted to go in the other direction. If he doesn't want to be part of the rebuild, that's one thing. If he doesn't want to rebuild, but if he's willing to go through a rebuild, why wouldn't you do it? I'm not saying Mike Tomlin should go, but if he's willing to be part of a rebuild, why wouldn't you just do it? I don't get it. I haven't understood the Steelers' direction for a while. They had me sipping on the Kool-Aid last season, and my goodness, that Kool-Aid was fucking poisoned. Man, the Steelers, I don't know what you're doing, Dark. I wish you guys the best, bro, because I don't know what's going on over there in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Darko. I love you to death, but it's going to be a tough season for you. Hopefully that you'll keep rocking with us, because it might not be fun for you to watch this podcast if y'all go into the season without Rodgers and start Mason Rudolph. I will talk shit about your team.
Like, there's no way they go in with Mason Rudolph. Like, there's no way that is their plan right now. That is insane to me. When you had Justin Fields on your team, you had Russell Wilson on your team. You could have went out and got Jameis. Aaron Rodgers is still sitting there. Like, there were so many options. You guys could have took the shot on Shedeur, but yeah.
Mason Rudolph or Drew Lock?
Drew Lock. Mason Rudolph isn't like, we've seen what we've seen from Mason Rudolph. We know what he is. Drew Lock, at least there's an ounce of potential in there that maybe you can squeeze it out of him. But Mason Rudolph, we know who he is. He's the guy that got smashed over the head by Myles Garrett. We know who he is. We don't want to see Mason Rudolph anymore. We're over that.
Mason Rudolph.
Or Sam Howell. I will take the chance on Sam Howell before I play Mason Rudolph. And Mason Rudolph, them going in with Mason Rudolph makes no sense. Like, that being their plan literally makes 0 sense.
It's horrible. The only thing that I can positively say about the Steelers is, yes, the defense is phenomenal. Minka and TJ Watt, you're going to be at least decent.
Added Darius Slay.
I'm excited to look into their undrafted free agent receivers, because they're going to at least get a chance over there, because that receiving room is god-awful. So
sure. And they always,
Rock Taylor and Keyshawn Williams.
They always make a decent receiver over there. They found Juju. They found AB. They found Chase Claypool. They always have a guy that just pops up out of nowhere. Sorry.
Oh, I miss Chase Claypool.
Like, he came onto the scene crazy and then just fell off after 2 years. Juju Smith-Schuster next to AB came out with fucking 1,000 yards, 1,500 yards, and then just...
And he's still a dog.
Super Bowl champion, so yeah, he's a dog, but yeah.
Two-time.
But yeah.
Two-tone, Cartier, match the nails, ho.
I'm over the Steelers. I don't care if they... Yeah, Glow. I don't care if they start fucking 16-0. I don't care if they go undefeated. They could go 18-0 all the way up into the Super Bowl, and I will pick them to lose the Super Bowl. I am so out on the Steelers. So out.
I mean, if they're 18-0 going into the Super Bowl, I'm not. That defense is holding opponents to 0 points a game.
I'm over the Steelers, man. Completely over them.
Me as well. Which team you want to talk about next? One of the oranges or the purple?
We can go to one of the oranges. We can just get the Browns out the way. I didn't know what to say for the Browns. I started off. I did Browns. I wrote down some of their additions, some of their departures. They brought in Kenny Pickett, Cornelius Lucas, an offensive tackle. They lost Dalvin Tomlinson, Juan Thornhill, James Hudson. And I literally started writing for the Browns, and I put, literally, I didn't know what to say for the Browns. I don't know what's going on over here either. I really don't know. Because I think I understand you wanted to keep your generational talent in Myles Garrett. I don't understand why you didn't trade him, why you didn't trade Denzel Ward. Just get everything you can for these talented, these studs, all pros you have on your roster, and just get as much draft capital as you can, and then you draft 2 quarterbacks, Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel. Their quarterback room is like 5 guys that are all just fucking just not good. You have Kenny Pickett over there. You have Joe Flacco over there. They have one more person. I'm forgetting who. Deshaun. It's like you have 5 guys who are just, well, let me not say not good to Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur. We don't know. But 3 guys we know are not going to be anything great for you. It doesn't make any sense to me what the Browns are doing. And I understand you, like you said, you wanted to keep your homegrown talent, but I think you should have just gone in the other direction and just traded everybody. JOK should have got traded. Fucking like I said, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, everybody should have been out the fucking door, and you just gather as many draft assets as you can and fucking draft 1 million people next year or something. I don't know. I feel like they want to be competitive, knowing damn well they're not going to be competitive this year.
I don't think there's any chance that we finish this podcast without Rodney coming in.
Zero. He's in the shower right now. Zero chance. He walked by.
I keep hearing people in your background.
He walked by to go into the shower, and I thought he was gonna, but he didn't. Once he comes out of, I guarantee, he will.
Hey, Charles, we're gonna have to take a couple weeks off of Charles because he kept picking the Heat, and the Heat kept losing. So.
Dang. Is he picking the Celtics too? Because, hey, bro, Jalen Brunson might be the coldest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life, bro. He is nasty,
the other one.
Bro.
The other one. That WWE match with Jalen Brunson and
bro, dog. Sorry to sidetrack. I was watching the last game 2 on my couch. I on everything. It was this close to being turned off. The Patriots. The Pacers are playing the foul game, and the foul game you always see teams do it in the NBA, but that shit never amounts to anything. Especially when you're down like 7 points, it never means anything. You're like, okay, you're dragging out the game for nothing. Then they hit a 3 or some shit. Then Tyrese Halliburton misses a free throw, and Nesmith comes in and dunks it. And then the Cavs just cannot inbound the ball like 5 straight times. Just are terrible at inbounding the ball. And I think Andrew Nembhard steals it. And I'm like, no fucking way. And then off the missed Tyrese Halliburton free throw, he gets it back, does that step back, and I'm in the living room by myself, so it's not like I'm going crazy with anybody else. I'm oh my god, I'm texting my brother because he's not at the house. I'm like, did you just see Hallie? And I texted him. Tyrese Halliburton is slowly becoming one of my favorite players, bro. Because holy shit, bro. The Pacers just find a way to win. The Pacers and the Nuggets just find a fucking way. It's ridiculous. They were down 7 with like 50 seconds left. That is some 2K shit. You just put the sliders up and just hit some threes or something. Like, how? That shit was ridiculous, bro. And Max Strus had hit like a 3 to put it like to like 117, 111. That's when I was like, oh, this shit is out of reach. The Cavs are going to go on and win this game. Donovan Mitchell, you did your thing without your other guys. and then the Pacers just find a fucking way, bro. They are so fun to watch because it could be anybody on any given night. Aaron Nesmith gives you some great minutes. Benedict Mathurin was great. Pascal Siakam is just Mr. fucking consistent. Miles Turner is just the greatest fucking glue guy. Just he's gonna do everything you need for block shots, hit threes. And Tyrese Halliburton, when he wants to, is just when he's aggressive, they're like unbeatable. Even if he's not aggressive, he does that in down the stretch. And Andrew Nembhard is just a fucking hooper. Bro, the Pacers are so much fucking fun, bro. They are so much fun.
I had a game on the TV behind me, but I had pretty much stopped paying attention to it because I just thought it was over. And I'm sitting here playing 2K with some of the homies and then Greg. And Greg is a big Cavs fan, but he's not like a super diehard. Mm-hmm. And my other brother, Bryce, watches pretty much every minute of every game.
Oh, yes, because he's the one that knows, like, who was it, Sam Merrill, and it was Georges Niang. Yep, I remember you telling me, yep.
And he texts me before it starts, and it's like, no Mobley, we might be screwed. I was like, yeah, not having him hurts.
No Mobley, no Garland, no Hunter. I was like, oh, this shit is right.
We're sitting here playing 2K, and Greg goes, I told Bryce we were going to be fine without Mobley. Look at this, his dumb ass. And all I hear, because I stopped paying any attention to the game, Jordan, who's a Cavs fan, he just goes, Tyrese Halliburton just gamed us. And Greg goes, no, the fuck he didn't, because Greg had stopped paying attention too.
Bro. Oh my goodness.
There's 1.1 second left. Oh man.
Insane,
same spot,
man.
Beautiful.
Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton, man. Yeah, crazy tangent. Playoffs have been great, bro. The playoffs have been great. And we're looking forward to fucking Knicks Pacers Eastern Conference Finals, man. Fuck it. Sorry.
The playoffs haven't been great.
I've loved the playoffs so far. Sorry.
Largest margin in NBA postseason history.
Okay, you talk the Nuggets and fucking no, that shit. I didn't watch a second of that game.
I'm not even talking about that. Largest series margin of all time.
I was at the fucking game. I was at game 4. I'm still waiting for my fucking. Sorry, I wanted to go support your fucking sorry ass team. Adam Silver, I'm still waiting for my fucking refund. That fucking Chick-fil-A sandwich I got after the game don't fucking account for shit.
They lost by 42 in game 3. I don't know what you expected.
You know, like I said, bro, a 20-point game, 15-point game, there's always going to be the fake comeback potential. Oh, they cut it to 11. Can they do it? But fucking 50, there's nothing for me to cheer about. Nothing. You called it. There's literally,
I told you.
There's nothing for me to. Fuck the Heat, bro. Fuck the Heat. We're not talking. We're past the Heat. Let's continue.
Back to the other Cleveland team. You were talking down on him, right? Mm-hmm. You said, I live in Ohio. So many Browns fans around me. Every year, this is our year. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are down on the Browns now. A lot of them are frustrated, and I like the Browns this year.
How? What do you like?
You have a running back again. You know, last year Chubb was hurt playing out there. Jerome Ford was bad. Pierre Strong was bad. You now have Quinshawn, who I think is amazing. I think Dylan Sampson's a really good backup. Jerry Jeudy's my guy. Cedric Tillman's my guy. I love David Bell coming into the draft. It sucks he got hurt last year. That should have been his year.
David Njoku.
You pick up Harold Fannin Jr. to back up David Njoku. Maybe play with David Njoku on certain sets. You bring in Mason Graham and Carson Schwessinger, who are both immediate day one starters. Walk on, 0-star, by the way. Second round pick. Pretty cool. And as much as I still hate the Myles Garrett situation on how he wanted out, was pretty much forcing his way out, and then you give him the most money to ever be seen in the entire world. Weird. Their secondary is cool. Their defense is going to be good. As long as you can either milk a little bit more out of Joe Flacco. I don't like Kenny Pickett. I can't even pretend like he could do something. Mm-hmm. I despise Dylan Gabriel. Deshaun Watson's probably out for season. I'm rooting for Shedeur to start because I think Shedor's a fucking dog. But
I think Joe Flacco, I think that's his starting spot to lose. I think he's guaranteed to start at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised if he loses it.
For sure,
He's
for sure, for sure,
47 years
for sure.
old.
But I think week 1 he'll be their starter. I think so.
I agree week 1 for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I just
I don't know.
I'm not a
You got
fan of him
Deontay
now.
Johnson over there too. If you can get whatever
If
happened
he's gonna
last year with
play,
Deontay Johnson.
if he's gonna play, I don't know. Like last year was so weird. On the Ravens, cut from the Ravens, goes to the Texans. Texans play the Ravens. He's dapping up all the Ravens like it was great over there. Back
And
to
he's
the
back
Ravens.
with the Ravens.
Yeah, weird situation. I don't know. Oh.
Both teams losers, by the way, the Panthers and the Steelers in that trade. Because didn't the Steelers lose homie that they traded with? I think so.
It was
It don't matter.
Dante Jackson.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if they lost him. Couldn't tell you. I know he was solid for them last year, but I don't know if they lost him.
Let's move on to the second best team in the division.
The Baltimore Ravens. Okay, what I have for the Ravens? The Cincinnati Bengals. I wrote down. Go. So, it's the Big Four and friends again. It's Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson, question mark, and the crew.
What are we doing with him?
Like, I don't know. We're just like, this is a team. This is one of the teams at the bottom of the list that should have said, yeah, let's run it back. This is the team that shouldn't, despite everything, where there's no way we run this back. No way. We come in with an entire new defense, fresh players, a whole bunch of boatload of draft picks on the defensive side of the ball, but they said, fuck that, let's run it back. Bring back Mike Gesicki, not that that's a problem. You pay T. Higgins, so you don't got fucking money anywhere else because Joe Burrow's making money. Jamar Chase is going to make his money. T. Higgins making his money. Are you going to, if you pay Trey Hendrickson, you're for damn sure not putting the money anywhere else. But
why did we not just draft every single pick we had defensively?
I
they picked like
don't
3 defensive guys.
I don't understand what the Bengals like game plan was coming into the offseason. I don't know. Like on that whiteboard at the top, I don't know what they had written down. Just fucking run it back. Literally, just pay our guys and we'll be fine. Joe Burrow will get us there. We just rely on Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be the same thing as it is last season. I had tweets last year. It's like, this team hates Joe Burrow. By week 3, we'll be saying these guys hate Joe Burrow. They're doing whatever they can to lose. Kickers missing extra points, missing field goals, players dropping the balls, defense giving up fucking 99-yard touchdowns in one play and shit. They just find a way to say, fuck you, Joe Burrow. We're going to find a way to lose this game. And the fact that you're just going to continue that, and for sure, you were, one game out of being into the playoffs, but you cannot bank on Joe Burrow having as good as he is, you cannot bank on him having as massive of a season as he did, because he had the best quarterback season last year. If he was on a competent team, he wins the MVP, but he was just on the team that had nothing else on the other side of the football. So I just don't understand what the Cincinnati Bengals game plan was this offseason. It doesn't seem like they had a game plan, to be honest. They went and got dude Al Golden, so it felt like, okay, maybe they're gonna just do something entirely new on defense, revamp the defense, bring on a bunch of new players, but they're just sticking with, they just lost guys. They lost guys and just said, all right, we're just going with the crew. It's just so weird to me that they didn't address glaring needs that everybody in the world thought, oh, they're just gonna go all defense in this draft, and they just didn't do that. It's weird to me.
Lou Anarumo was definitely not their problem, but as you said, they replaced him with Al Golden. I think Zach Taylor is an extremely high-level offensive play caller. But then your defense, it just doesn't make sense, because if you're getting rid of Trey Hendrickson, then cool. You have Joseph Ossai and Shamar Stewart on each side. As much as I like Shamar Stewart, he is incredibly raw. So you're going to have to be patient with him. If you keep Trey Hendrickson...
You can't be patient on the fucking Bengals right now. You cannot. You can't. The Bengals are not in a place to be just fucking patient and allow guys to grow. They need people to come in today and produce.
So if you keep Trey Hendrickson, do you start Shamar Stewart over Joseph Ossai, or are you moving off? What is the situation there? You bring in TJ Slayton to start with BJ Hill on the defensive line. You bring in Oren Burks from, I believe, the Eagles, correct?
Former Niner,
you know?
Yeah, from the Eagles, yeah.
You bring him in from the Eagles, which I think he starts day one, and I think he's a very high-level linebacker. But Jermaine Pratt and Logan Wilson back there with him, it's just not a successful way to win football games. And maybe you tell yourself, we start Chase Brown all season this year. I don't know why the fuck we didn't do that last year.
We were saying it from fucking week 1. Why was Zach Moss playing over him? Why? It didn't make any sense.
It made no sense. but maybe that's their plan. We got a real running back there. He's the fix here this year.
Yeah,
It's
lost
just
Sam Hubbard,
disappointing.
lost Sheldon Rankins, lost Alex Kappa, guard. Like, and they just didn't give a damn to replace any of it. To replace it. Disappointment is an understatement for the Bengals because this team was in the Super Bowl this close. Aaron Donald doesn't break through and get pressure. Who knows? They're Super Bowl champions. They were this close. They beat Patrick Mahomes in Patrick Mahomes' building, in his building, and went on to the Super Bowl.
The only team that can do it.
And everybody was like, oh, here come the Bengals. It's going to be Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes going back and forth. Bengals are going to be giving them competition. They haven't been anywhere close. They haven't competed since. They haven't, like, it's ridiculous that this team with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown now, Trey Hendrickson is not competing. It's atrocious.
Maybe their game plan is just, we're going to force this MVP into Joe Burrow's hands. Because if he ain't good, we ain't good. So he's going to have to perform.
And I just don't. And like I said,
that's what they did with Josh Allen.
Burrow, as great as Joe Burrow is, you cannot bank on him having as good as a season as he did. He was doing some crazy shit, making throws while damn near laying down, and he was like playing out of his fucking mind. I just don't think you can just bank on him doing that again. If that's their ideology, where we're just gonna bank on Joe Burrow putting up 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. I just don't see the Bengals going anywhere near the playoffs if that's the case. Can't see it.
I agree. Unfortunately, Bengals fans,
I want to root for the Bengals. They got players I love over there. Like I love T. Higgins, Joe Burrow. I want to root for them, but I just can't.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Last team, the best team.
I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
You got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. I don't know what more you could need on a football team.
Yep.
You got a phenomenal defense.
Yep.
You let Zach Orr go into his second season. Even I know it's like you got to believe in your team, but Kyle Hamilton went to the podium and said, "We have everything. It just has to all click at the same time." Like there's no flaws on the team, and he's right.
And it's been that way for a couple. It's like when you look at we talked about this, I think at the draft or whenever it was free agency. When you look at the Ravens for the past couple of years, I understand Lamar hasn't had the greatest weapons, but I think his weapons have got overblown for how bad they are. They're not as bad as people make them out to seem. For sure, it can be upgraded, but they're not as bad as people make them out to seem. So when you look at the Ravens roster, it's like, where are we bad at? Where are we subpar at? Where are we not good? Like, they're not average anywhere. They're good everywhere. So it's like, well, we'll see at kicker now. Justin Tucker released, and they have, who was it? They drafted Tyler Loop, I think, and they brought in somebody else, some other rookie. I forget his name, sorry. But yeah, it's like, the Ravens, what I literally had written down was, when will they break through? There's no more excuses. And there hasn't been any excuses.
That's what Justin Tucker's disappointing.
Disappointing, man. Because he's a legend. A legend. Baltimore legend. Like, it's going to be so weird that number 9 isn't going to be kicking for the Ravens anymore. He was just Mr. Automatic. You knew when he came in, it was Ravens are winning the game. He's game-winning field goal. He's hitting it. And it's just like, for him to be so damn good, probably the greatest kicker ever, for him to be involved in that shit. And I understand it's all alleged, but it's like 16 people, so I'm not even going to get into it, but just to be involved in any of that shit is just super disappointing for how impactful he was to the city of Baltimore. Like, a kicker making that much of an impact to a city, meaning that much to a team and a franchise, that definitely is disappointing.
Absolutely.
But yeah, back to the Ravens as a whole. It's literally just when are we going to break? Do you have to not see Patrick Mahomes? Is that going to be the case for you guys to be able to break through? You have to find a way for somebody else to beat him in the first round or something like that. I don't know what it's going to take at this point, but the Ravens have to find a way to get to the Super Bowl. They have
they didn't even see him this year, did they?
They did.
They lost to the Bills.
They lost to Josh Allen. Yeah, they didn't. It's like, they have to get to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they have to win it because, again, only one team can win it. But you've had so many cracks at it. You have to get there. You have to get there. And if they get there in a one game winner go home, it's hard for me to bet against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. You can't game plan against that. So if the Ravens were in the Super Bowl against anybody, I would probably pick them. But them to get there, I don't know if I can pick them. But if they were just in that one game, I would most likely pick them. But just getting there is the problem. I don't know what it is. They just cannot break through. And I know soon people are going to be calling for John Harbaugh's head. My brother's been calling for his head because he just can't break through. I'm not part of that camp, but I know people will start calling for his head if he can't get past Patrick Mahomes or can't get to the Super Bowl this year. Because and not that I understand it, but it's like they have legs to stand on, because what else could you possibly need? What else does this Ravens team need? Like there's nothing. Anything you
Harbaugh's
would.
not the issue.
And he's not. Anything you would say would just be a surplus. It would be something that you just don't need. It's like, oh yeah, let's go add Justin. Like it'd be ridiculous because you don't need anything on this team. Yeah, you want to upgrade everywhere you can, but you don't need anything to go win. You have everything that you need. So the Ravens just got to go and do it already.
And that's the crazy thing, because as much as we're saying their team was already good before this offseason, I think they did everything perfectly this offseason.
They had another good
You
draft
have
like
Zay
they
Flowers.
always do. Yep.
You had Rashad Bateman as your receivers, and that alone is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bring in D-Hop, who's just going to be the perfect mentor for them, dog. You can tell them any wisdom that they need to. And it's not like D-Hop's a slouch actually on the field. He's not the same D-Hop as he used to be, but he can play your third role perfectly. You have Mark Andrews having that chip on his shoulder for the entire season. And one drop and people acted like he was lost.
All the flack he got, he's still one of the best in the league. He was hurt coming off of injury, so he's still one of the best in the league. And even if it's not him, Isaiah Likely is right there. So the Ravens have no excuses.
Without mentioning any of that, you go first round. Malachi Starks falls right in your lap. Beautiful, beautiful pick for the Ravens. That allows you to bring Kyle Hamilton back up and fuck up other offenses. And then at 47, you get Mike Green, debatably the best edge rusher in the entire class, who, yes, he had some, I don't even know if they're allegations, because I think that he turned himself in, but it's such a talented football player to fall to number 47, and it seems like he's not the same guy that is the reason that he fell. But the only thing I can say for the Baltimore Ravens is there is a man that went to Clemson, got drafted by the Cardinals, maybe got drafted by the Giants, but he played for the Cardinals. He played for the Giants. No, I just said Giants. Who did he play for last year? Isaiah Simmons. Please go get Isaiah Simmons. Just beat a full Kyle Hamilton where you can move Kyle Hamilton to other places. I still think Isaiah Simmons is decent.
I remember when he came out, people were talking about this is the next generational defender. You can put him at linebacker. He can rush the passer. You can put him at safety. You can put him anywhere on the field, all 11. And I remember people talking crazy about Isaiah Simmons. And then he got drafted into our division by the Cardinals. And I'm like, oh shit, we got to deal with this guy. And he'd never amounted to much of anything.
Where did he play last year?
I think it was the Giants.
Okay. Only 2 teams he's played for?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. But yeah.
I'm excited to see if Nick Eamon-Warrior is closer to Kyle Hamilton or if he's closer to Isaiah Simmons, because he's going to be one of them.
Another point of not concern or anything, because it's no concern at all. The reason the Ravens don't get to the Super Bowl cannot be because Lamar Jackson has another subpar playoff game. I'm not a Lamar Jackson chokes in the playoffs type of guy. He falls off. But he's going to have to continue that MVP level performance into the playoffs. And I understand, it is a tougher to score in the playoffs, and all those type of things. But I do need to see regular season Lamar carry over into the playoffs. Because for him to have barely any turnovers in the regular season, then have 3 in the playoffs or 2 in the playoffs, and they were both goofy. That deep ball interception or whatever, and then fumbling, like he looked like he just dropped it. They were both goofy. So I need Lamar to just keep up that MVP level play. It cannot be it can't even be, not even that I would think it is, but it can't even be up for discussion. Oh, was this on Lamar, or did they lose because of Lamar? It can't even be up for discussion. If the Ravens lose, it should be Lamar Jackson balled out. The other team just did their thing.
And it will. I'm telling you right now, when we get to our prediction episode,
they
will be my prediction. They
will
be my pick.
Bro. Let me guess. Against the fucking Vikings? JJ McCarthy takes the Vikings all the way to the Super Bowl. Okay.
I'm not that biased.
Okay. So we're getting a rematch, Ravens-Niners. Okay. I'm down. I think the Niners, we'll save it for the NFC West breakdown. We'll save it for the NFC West. Did you have a name for this? I didn't know what we should name this, us going through. I was thinking about it the past couple of days.
Division outlooks.
I was thinking state of the divisions. I had a bunch of shit and I didn't know what we would call it. Division outlooks works for me though. All right, but yeah.
I
Oh, God.
I might pick the Niners to finish last in y'all division.
That's honestly that's just bad. That's just bad. That's just bad. The Cardinals are not good. The Cardinals are not good. I understand they got some players over there that you like, but we have to think with our head and not with our heart. The Cardinals are not good.
The Cardinals are a good football team.
The Niners are winning the division.
Winning
the division. I'm over.
What are we betting?
50 bucks. Niners win the division. You can have the field. You can have all others 3. Niners win the division. 50 bucks. Niners win the division. We're having a bounce back year, bro. We're having a bounce back year. I forget who it was I heard talking about it. The vibes are just great. It might have been George Kittle. It was George Kittle. He was like, we don't got guys holding out this offseason. All of the vets came to voluntary mini camp, so it's just great vibes over there. Trent Williams, who never shows up, is there. Nick Bosa, who always trains in Jacksonville, Florida, was there. George Kittle himself was there. Brock Purdy going through contract negotiations was there. The vibes are high. Brandon Ayuk, coming off his ACL. He's playing golf with the rest of the team. CMC, George Kittle, Brock Purdy. The vibes are high in San Francisco. Robert Saleh's back in town. Our defense is going to be back to being good. I'm high on the Niners. The Niners are winning the NFC West. 50 bucks. Let's get it.
You know Tay and Puka play together, right?
I don't care. Because Diamador Lenore and Renardo Green play together. So I don't give no fucks. I don't give no fucks. Not a singular fuck. And it is what it is. The Niners are winning. And that's no bias. The Niners are winning.
Extreme bias.
That's no bias. Because at worst, the Niners are finishing second in the division. We're better than the Seahawks as well. We're better than the Seahawks. And I love the offseason that the Seahawks have had, especially their draft. But we are better than the Seattle Seahawks. It is what it is. And for damn sure, the Cardinals aren't even up for fucking debate. You just the jackass for that one. The Cardinals aren't up for debate. But this ain't the NFC West episode.
Chris getting that fucking cookie every week. Every week.
No, the fuck he not.
Especially in division.
We hope you guys enjoyed the NFL portion of the of the pod. Let us know if you guys enjoyed that.
And if you didn't,
fuck you.
We got 7 more of them coming your way anyway.
So you're gonna have to deal with it regardless. So yeah, if anything you guys would improve, anything you'd like to see us talk about each team in the division in the episodes coming up. But yeah, that's gonna be our next 7 episodes after that, talking about each division. We're gonna do the NFC North next episode.
Absolutely. As per usual, these last several months, we are now going to get into our worldwide wrestling waffle. So if you're not a WWE guy, sorry about it. If you are, thank you for staying with us. And if you're a maybe and you're still here, thanks for staying with us. I got a text from this guy I know earlier, and he told me he didn't watch SmackDown.
I don't think he said that. I don't think he said that.
He said he kept up with Twitter, but he didn't actually watch the show.
He watched some of SmackDown but couldn't finish it, and then he just seen the rest on Twitter. Cause WWE bogus as fuck thinking I'm sitting through that garbage ass show, and it's usually you that's like, oh, we talking about SmackDown. SmackDown has been fucking shit the past 3 weeks, bro. It's been fucking awful. While Raw has been fantastic because they got Stephanie Vaquero over there, Roxanne Perez, Julia, all these NXT people. Can we get them on SmackDown? Fuck, man.
Any episode of SmackDown without Cody Rhodes is shit.
And that's the thing. It's like people wanted Cody gone. They started booing him. I miss quarterback 1. He's the captain, and I fucking miss him, bro. I miss Cody because we're back to a fucking champion being here every other goddamn week. We took it for granted. We had our champion there no matter what. Whether he was just there to talk, have a random ass match, he was going to show up.
St. Louis.
Like in a fly ass suit, holding his title in his hands. Man, bro, now we got dude over there, Mr. 17, and I know Kai is fucking smiling ear to ear I'm talking about Mr. 17, but fuck dude. For real, fuck dude.
17 ain't gonna matter when homie get 18.
Right. Let's get into fucking garbage ass SmackDown, man.
I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand.
They talk to me.
He gonna whoop that dude ass.
Oh yeah, we're also gonna make our Backlash predictions, and he definitely is gonna whoop dude's ass.
Show
Oh,
starts with
oh, wait,
Damian
sorry,
Priest
sorry,
and
sorry.
Zach.
You know, I don't work late on Saturdays anymore, so every PLE might be, we might be able to stream it if you're down. I don't know about Backlash though. Backlash looking kind of fucking weak.
Oh, I was just about to say I don't know about this one because I think I might have to pick Bryson Greg up from
That's
a
fine.
wedding.
That's
So
fine. That's fine. A wedding? Is it a family wedding? Why aren't you going?
no, I don't know the
Like,
chick.
oh, okay.
I mean, I've met her a couple times, but
But it's not. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
hopefully, I mean, this might be bad to say. Love them to death, but hopefully it's like, you can just drop us off at mom's house and then go back to your place instead of them wanting to stay here. Like if they want to stay here,
That's the
obviously I
plan.
wouldn't.
That's the plan to bring them back to your house.
No, there's no plan right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like if they want to stay here, obviously they're invited whenever they want. But
No. Let's not forget. Somebody said they will be the first person to sleep over at the new house.
bitch, you're not coming to Ohio.
Let's get into SmackDown, man. Let's get into SmackDown.
Damian Priest attacked Solo and Fatu immediately to start the show, where they're usually introducing everything. He just went in and whooped their ass. LA Knight walks by and goes straight to the ring. He has his little weak ass segment. He calls out Damian Priest. He says, "You picked my time, and not a bell rang because of you."
I just looked at my
And
notifications and seen Smallz 325 is live, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no way. But it's the old one when you accidentally click live and it says the return. Like, bro, shut your ass up talking about the return. But go ahead.
Wait, that shit actually sent out a notification?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, I got the noti.
Holy shit, I didn't even know my Twitch was connected.
I was gonna say, are you still live and you just didn't know? Bro.
They went back and forth for a while. They kept saying we had no problems with each other. And then they just went from cordial to we want a match right now, super quick. And then the ref ran out. Fucking garbage ass segment. SmackDown was shit. We get into the match. It was like a 15-minute match. LA Knight kicked out of the Razor's Edge where Priest threw him like the entire ring. Pretty cool spot right there. And I'm not going to lie, I was watching this while I was putting that shelf together. And I didn't have a hammer to put that shelf together. I was using a fucking bookend. And it was very complicated. The only time I stopped to do that, or stopped doing that to watch, was when Pat McAfee was cooking.
Cooking.
But Priest followed that with the broken arrow. And then he climbed up on the rope. LA Knight jumped up and caught him into a superplex. And then they're both outside the ring. Solo attacks Damian from behind. Ruin the match. He jumps in the ring to attack LA Knight. He lines up for the Samoa Spike. He gets caught by Priest from behind. Gets hit with the BFT by LA Knight. And then they kind of team up for a second to whoop Solo's ass. They throw him to the table. And then Fatu jumps in and attacks LA Knight. Suicide to Priest. Oh, he suicide dove at Damian Priest. And then he hit a Samoan drop on LA Knight through the desk. And then he hit the running hip bullshit through Priest. And they got Fatu built up like such a fucking demon right now. And it's cool, but I don't like Damian Priest. LA Knight is...
LA Knight's been pretty good, but LA Knight, I don't want to see him in the U.S. title picture though. He needs to go to Monday Night Raw, and he needs to go heel.
He can go heel. We kind of need him on SmackDown though.
SmackDown just gotta shake the entire fucking rosters up. Bro. Fuck the brand split, man. Anybody can show up on any fucking show because SmackDown fucking suck. Or just Cody, come back, man. Come back this Saturday and show up to SmackDown. Save SmackDown, please, man. Please.
We get Byron Saxton backstage with Fraxium. They got a match against Pretty Deadly. They're saying they're excited. On NXT, they flipped the whole tag team division upside down. They're the best tag division on the entire planet. They get interrupted by Pretty Deadly. They kick out Byron Saxton, as in Pretty Deadly kicks them out. They talk their shit, and then they go straight into the match. Pretty Deadly is super fucking powerful, and I didn't really notice that until this episode because he caught him out of like midair. It's Kit Wilson and what's the other guy?
Elton Prince.
So it was Kit Wilson that caught dude out of there, and it was pretty cool. But Fraxium, they got them built as one of the super hard, like a Sami Zayn type team where they just Fraxium. Never give up. Yeah. And Axiom looks sick. I always thought he was the cooler one, but Nathan Frazier is fucking awesome.
He is, absolutely.
And then as soon as Wade said that the win would be like taking candy from a baby because Elton Prince was so out of it, I expected them to win like right after that, and they didn't. Nathan Frazier took Elton Prince to his own corner, and it allowed the other dude to tag in. Axiom hit a Spanish fly, and then Nathan Frazier hit the Phoenix Splash back to back to win the match. It was cool. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see them continue to be built. And the only thing that was good about SmackDown was the tag team division. So
what's new?
I don't know why. Like why aren't we seeing more of them every week?
Fuck SmackDown.
Then we get into the fucking good segment of Meechin and Beef Fab backstage with Nick Aldis. They said when Liv and Raquel come back, they want to be at the top of the list. The Secret Herberts interrupt. Chelsea's covering all black as if it's her fucking funeral. And said last week was rigged. She said that.
I think this is what made me check out. I think this is where I stopped, to be honest.
She was talking about the U.S. Championship and how Nick Aldis shouldn't even be involved because he's not from here. And then he says, neither are you, or you, because none of the fucking Secret Herberts is. That was a fun though, yeah. That was a good line. And then Chelsea asked for the recount that she deserves, and he says it's going to be Zelina versus Piper. Mm-hmm. After that, we get the fucking Jennifer. Oh man, I'm so upset she's back. I did not miss her bitch ass at all. Nia Jax walks out.
I don't know why you hate her so much.
Tiffany Stratton interrupted. She said, "I'm not the Tiffany Stratton that you used to know. I'm not scared of a rematch." And then Naomi interrupts. She said that Jade made her life hell. And then Jade Gargo comes out. And they're all fighting each other. Fucking terrible segment once again. Tiffy and Jade versus Naomi and Nia announced to be the main event of the match, though. Or of the night. And then we get another backstage segment of Miz and Mello. Miz is saying he's fighting to remind everyone who he is. There's a reason that he lasted in the company that Aleister Black only lasted 5 years in. He said Aleister Black wants to make a segment. Well, he's going to be a part of mine. Cool little line. They made Aleister Black seem like a master of Muay Thai. Whatever. Wade Barrett says that a returning wrestler would want to go after the weakest in the locker room, and The Miz isn't that, so he's going after The Miz for a reason. And The Miz is just ass now, so I mean, probably just because he's the weakest. I love him too. Challenge alumni. Shout out. And his homie Mark, always there for PLEs in the corner. You can see him every time. Skull crushing finale into a cartwheel reversal counter. Mm-hmm. That was very cool. Mm-hmm. And then Aleister Black did his little spinning kick. Mello interrupted, allowed Miz to go for the roll up, and then it goes straight into another Black Mass kick. And Aleister Black beats the Miz. Carmelo rolls up into the ring, does his little stare off, and face to face with Aleister Black. I don't give a fuck about Aleister Black. Next segment was even worse because I'm so tired of Santos Escobar.
Nobody cares about him, and it's not even that he's a bad wrestler or anything. Just nobody cares. He has no aura. Literally none.
He has a segment with Rey Fenix. He says the true embodiment of disappointment in WrestleMania, not just for himself, but he embarrassed the tradition of Lucha Libre by losing to a clown like El Grande Americano. Rey Mysterio picked you and you blew it. The greatest luchador of all time is out of the picture, and somebody has to take his place. That person has always been me, says Santos. No. Zelina versus Piper. As much as I love Zelina, I didn't watch this bullshit.
Did she win? I'm assuming she won. She's the champ.
Piper dominated the entire time. Zelina sets it up for a 619. Chelsea Green interrupts. As she's yelling at Chelsea Green, Piper tries to hit her from behind. Piper ends up hitting Chelsea Green. Yes, I did see that. And Zelina ends up rolling up for the win and then running away.
Yeah.
Nick Aldis backstage with Solo and Fatu. Says 2 weeks in a row, the matches have been blown up by Solo interrupting. It's going to be a triple threat for the belt with Damian, Fatu, and LA Knight. Solo tells Nick Aldis that Drew won, so he deserves the match most. So Nick Aldis says, "You're right. We'll make it fair. It'll be a fatal 4-way." And Fatu hits his line. He says, "You know what? Let's keep it 100. No matter who you put in front of me, line them up, because that Backlash, at the end of the day, I'm a dog walk the ass." See, go ahead, hit the line. See me. I'm all gas. No breaks with it.
Get in where you fit in. Yada I mean. 5, 2.
I like how he rolls his when he says y'all know what I mean. He says the L like 7 times. I think that shit cool every time. But Solo looks at Nick Aldis and says, "Nick, I see what you're doing. You're trying to screw Jacob over." And Nick says, "No, Solo, you are." Then we get Randy. While the world couldn't see John Cena, I could. It took the world 20 years to know what I knew from day one. Entitled brat that gets whatever he wants, the ultimate shiny toy. The only thing you've raised is the price of your merchandise, not the generations of kids like you said. Selling your soul isn't a new concept, is it, John? You've been doing that for 20 years. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Am I right? I'll give him the hustle, but what happened to the loyalty and respect? So last week you talked about getting rid of the Orton family from the history books. In my hometown, in front of the next generations of Ortons, I'm gonna punt you so hard. Randy was cool. He had one of the best segments of the night for sure. And then we get Naomi and Nia backstage, and they didn't say a fucking thing. Rey Fenix had a badass entrance. R-Truth tells Randy he has no chance against his childhood hero.
Yeah. Shouts out to R-Truth.
And Jimmy's just R-Truth's fucking babysitter all of a sudden. Jey Uso the champion, and Jimmy just there. Poor Jimmy. Rey Fenix versus Santos Escobar. Springboard moonsault from Rey into a top rope Meteora to beat Santos. If you expect me to talk about that match, you got me fucked up. If you would like to talk about that match, go ahead.
If you didn't bring it up, I wouldn't have known that match happened.
Okay. We got Jade and Tiffy versus Naomi and Nia. I didn't watch this shit that much either. Nia squashed both Naomi and Tiffy in a corner. She runs into Jade. She lines up Jade for the Annihilator. Jade jumps up and slams her for the win. Tiffy and Jade get their arms raised at the same time. As the ref is about to hand Tiffy the title, Jade snatches it away from her. She's just looking down on it, puts it on her shoulder.
She looked good
she
with
hands
it.
I mean,
she looked good with it. She just looked good in general, but she did look good with the belt.
When she's not in there with Naomi, she looks so good. But when she's in there with Naomi, it's fuck you, Jade. So as she's handed it back to Tiffy, they're both holding it at the same time, and Naomi attacks her from behind in the show. I ain't gonna lie, Raw was kind of weak too.
Yeah, I was fucking with Raw.
Jay opened the show, coming out of the fans. Coming out of the fans. That's not okay. Yeeting all over the place. He said, "I'm here. I know Logan Paul is here. Where you at, Oos?" And we don't get the AO. We get the ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Paul Heyman.
He had too much damn bronzer on. Way too much damn bronzer.
Him and fucking Braun Breaker just be living off of that shit.
Jay said it's ironic you're coming out here to talk to me after what you just did to my family. He said you're gonna lecture me about betraying Roman Reigns. He said Jay tells him that he warned Roman, he warned CM Punk about you, and then Paul Heyman hits the same line: if CM Punk put me in a position where I had to turn against Roman Reigns, I had a dream with my best friend when Roman Reigns was still playing high school football.
He was talking that talk.
So now I'm the bad guy for wanting to walk out when he finally hits his dream. What did he think? What did Roman think I was gonna do? Sell his secrets to CM Punk? And his ass was fucking freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, he was spazzing.
He says, I built the bloodline for 5 years. I didn't lose the championship. Roman lost the championship. And when he lost, what'd he do? He disappeared. He left me with the Tungans who almost ended my career. He only came back to get his Ulafala. He didn't give a fuck about me.
Yep, bro. Paul Heyman
But I'm the betrayer, right? It's always Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's always the liar.
When he said this line, he was spazzing. It's always Paul Heyman. Oh, man.
He was screaming. Fucking red as hell. His red was almost more noticeable than his bronzer. But he's screaming, I'm in the right, and you blame me. Screw you. And then it's just silence for a second. Jay puts the mic back up to his mouth and goes, you okay? Matter of fact, are you done?
I wish Jay was a little more serious in this segment.
I did too. But then he says, what does this have to do with me? And Paul says, you're right, Jay. I apologize. I didn't come out here to talk about CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I came out here to talk about you. You think coming out here every night and eating with the audience is all that it takes, but it's not what the title's about. He says, while you need in your heart to be champion, Seth Rollins has to be champion. Braun Breaker was just at stage 1. Stage 2 is the title. I'm out here tonight to do you a favor. I'm going to let you sign your own death warrant. I'm going to let you pick the night that you lose your World Heavyweight Championship. He says, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins officially challenges you. You know he deserves to be number 1 contender. He beat Roman and CM Punk. He says he'll fight you for the title any place, anytime.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's walking out,
and I heard this, I'm like, okay, they're just doing that shit. This match ain't gonna happen. Like that shit not happening.
I was thinking for sure Backlash.
Yeah, it's not happening tonight. Yeah, Jay's gonna say yes, but Adam Pearce ain't gonna fucking accept that shit.
As he's walking out, Jay tells him to hold on. He says, Omaha is on tonight. 4 letters, 1 word. Yay! And then it cuts backstage to Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. He says, you were right, Seth. He fell for it. He wants to do the match tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's saying a whole bunch of other shit, and Seth stops him and says, you know I love to say, I told you so. So I told you so. And then he walks out, and Paul goes, do you understand what's going on right now? To Braun Breaker, and he's explaining everything to him. He says Jey Uso is no easy day in the park. He pinned Gunther. Jey Uso is not focused on Seth Rollins. He's distracted by Logan Paul. Seth Rollins is a sniper, and Jey Uso is in his sights. Tonight we get handed the keys to the kingdom. This beginning of the episode was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it was.
Then we go to Penta, a new variation of his theme song.
And a Penta kind of fucking bores me now, man. I don't know if I don't think it's him necessarily. I just don't give a fuck about Penta and the Judgment Day. And it's like I haven't really cared for but like I didn't care for Penta and Butch or Pete Dunne, whatever. Him and Ludwig was pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't know if it's more so Penta or just what they're doing with him that I don't really care about. But yeah, I haven't really been too.
I haven't liked any of his opponents yet. Like you said, Ludwig. Oh, that's gonna fucking irritate me if that stays in the background.
It's definitely staying in that.
And it does. Yeah. Him versus Ludwig was cool, but other than that, I just didn't care. Mm-hmm. Especially versus fucking JD McDonough. Carlito and Finn Balor interfered like you knew they were gonna. Mm-hmm. Dude interferes for whatever reason. Fuck, dude. The official caught Finn and kicked him and Carlito out. Penta hits the Mexican Destroyer on JD for the win. Mm-hmm. Anything to say?
No.
Do you care about the match?
No.
Okay. Then we get Austin Theory and Grayson Waller
for no reason, but
they don't. But
sorry.
Austin Theory and Grayson Waller backstage with Adam Pearce. Grayson Waller is apologizing. He said, I was trying to get a singles match. That's on me. I'll let you have the singles match instead. And Theory says, who's it against? And Waller tells him, don't worry about it. Just get prepared. He said he did it because he's a great tag team partner, and then Sheamus' music hits. And
8 years too late, Triple H. You should have done this fucking breakup fucking 10 years ago, but you waited till fucking now for what? You wasted Austin Theory's fucking potential when you could have split them up months and months and months ago, and Theory could have been a top rising star. I understand people saying that, but Austin Theory can't go from not doing a damn thing with Grayson Waller to just in a fucking faction with Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker. He just can't. That's like fucking picking us two out of just fucking nowhere and putting us in that faction. And just because we're in that faction, now we're just a top dog. No. Austin Theory should still be getting his fucking ass beat if he's in that faction because he hasn't done anything to earn that spot. I know a bunch of people want him because he's the young, talented guy. But like he hasn't done anything. He can't just go from being a nothing to just being in the top faction in the WWE. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
He's going to have to go and then like squash Grayson Waller.
And then go. He's going to have to beat some people and then go. He can't just separate from Grayson Waller. Then the next week he's with Seth and them.
Yeah, I agree. We haven't seen Sheamus since the Royal Rumble, so it's cool to see him. Theory was all upset about this being the match because he's like, what the fuck's going on? Theory was doing good to start, but Sheamus started to whoop the fuck out of him. And Theory's laying there all battered and bruised and goes, why would you do this to me, to Grayson Waller? Mm-hmm. Sheamus hits them with the
beats of the Bodger or something like that.
I would not take that personally.
Absolutely not.
Sheamus is the brogue kick to win the match, and Waller is over in the corner laughing. That was an okay little segment. Once again, we get the Judgment Day backstage, and he said, "What was?" JD says, "What was Gable doing out there? Him and Penta need to get it ASAP." AJ Styles interrupts and says, "Prince, what's up, man?" Talking to Finn Balor, which was cool. He said, "It's a friendly warning. I don't care who wins at Backlash. I'm coming for the IC title, and then I'm gonna whoop your ass anyways." I didn't listen to a damn thing Becky Lynch was saying. So
Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria have been talking that talk. They've been doing some great work, some great work.
Lyra been talking that talk
for sure. But I think Becky's done a great job too. I've been liking this feud a lot. This is one of the things I am looking forward to for a Backlash.
Lyra told her to stop taking credit for who she's become. Pretty much what it's
shouts out to Lyra, man.
Boiled down to.
I've always loved her, but these past couple of weeks she's been talking that talk on the mic.
Her or Roxanne?
In terms of what?
Like who you like more?
It's tough not to go with Roxanne. It's tough. I think Roxanne is better, but I like Lyra more.
Fair enough. She laid out Becky to end the segment. Speaking of Roxanne, we get her versus Io. This is clearly just going to be the future of the company because that match was awesome.
For sure.
They went back and forth a bunch of times. Io ends up winning. And Io's all happy and celebratory at the end of the match. And she's showing good sportsmanship. Roxanne does the same.
I was like, okay.
She walks out the ring, and then Julia from behind on Io just whoops the fuck out of her. Roxanne turns around smiling all evil, runs back in, kicks Io in the face as Julia's holding her head up. Mm-hmm. Damn, what the fuck I just do? Nobody was there to save Io. Rhea was out of the country or whatever they claimed.
Yeah.
If only, and now imagine this, if only Io Sky was in a faction that someone could have came and saved her. Like, there used to be a long time ago a chick named Dakota Kai who was in the same faction.
Happy birthday, Dakota Kai. Come on the show.
37th birthday.
I saw that and I was like, bro, no way she's 37. No way. Come on the show, Dakota.
She could definitely.
I think she's a married man. Not married man. I think she's a married woman.
I would never break up a family, but if y'all are on a break, let me know.
All right.
After that segment, which, by the way, Roxanne and Julia, if they're like partners or whatever they're building up to be, I think that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I think next week is awesome. Them two versus Rhea and Io.
Rhea and Io should beat the fuck out of them if they're being.
they probably will. You know how they love Rhea.
They basically got me booking it. No, they don't, because Io would be in catering.
Yeah, like that. And that's ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Continue, bro.
We get Rusev versus Otis. If you think I'm watching the Alpha Academy in 2025,
like, bro,
you got
beating up the Alpha Academy does fucking nothing. Everybody does that. Everyone does it.
And Rusev looks sick, but
it's the Alpha Academy. Yeah, no one gives a fuck.
Adam Pearce is there to mediate Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Gunther up there saying, Pat McAfee says, even though we are from very different places, we grew up the same. We both had dreams of being here. Your dreams are gone, though. This is a job for you at this point. You overlook Sammy. You overlook Jay. You're going to overlook me. This version of Gunther has gone soft. You've been waltering around lately. I like that one.
Yeah. Shout out Walter.
Gunther tells him that, did you enjoy... The first thing he says, he just looks at him and says, did you enjoy your little daughter's birthday last week? And I'm like, oh, shit. Where the fuck you about to go with this? He said, Saturday is a very special day for me, and you just got me in the right mood for it. I'm going to show up more focused than I've ever been before. I promise you my full and undivided attention. I'm going to maul you. Tonight, by my grace, you are untouchable. But on Saturday, only the grace of God can lift my arms off your throat.
And it was his intensity and just tone while saying that. Oh, my goodness.
He was phenomenal,
man. I felt it.
He was.
Only the grace of God can... Man. Yeah, and Pat McAfee's done a great job in this feud, too. I know people are like, oh, I don't want to see Gunther fighting Pat McAfee, but I like this. I'm all here for it. I enjoy it.
I'm so down for like the top of the company should just be able to fight anybody.
I'm
Like
down for it.
if it makes sense, we shouldn't only be able to see Rhea in championship matches.
Mhm.
If it makes sense for Rhea to attack someone else, please give us better stories, please. Is Gunther the best in the company on the mic right now?
No, that'll go to CM Punk until he's not on the earth anymore.
So he can't just leave the company as when he died.
Oh, okay, okay. When he's not in the company anymore. Sorry. When Paul Heyman's not in the company either. When John Cena's not in the company either. Gunther's up there though. When Drew McIntyre's probably not in the company either.
Is John Cena still better on the mic than Gunther?
I think he is. I think he is. I think he absolutely is. Actually, I think he is.
All right, that's fine. I love Gunther when he's talking.
No, for sure, for sure. He has some great lines. Wrestling in front of you guys is like reading Shakespeare to a dog. Like he has some great lines.
Wrestling. That's more than one.
Can't wait to. I hope I hear that this Saturday, man. I miss you, Cody. Come on the show.
Yeah, come on the show. His ass in the TNC coming back to basketball theme song. Yeah.
Hey, that commercial was so fucking good. That commercial was so fucking good. So good, man. Shouts out to them. Yeah.
KB retweeted that shit and just said well or whatever. And I thought for sure his ass was finna be in it.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't thinking that, but I did see him retweet or like quote tweet or some shit.
We end the show with Seth Rollins walking out with Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker. And then we start to yeet all over the place. This match went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Seth had a stomp. Jey Uso had a bunch of spears. They were throwing everything at each other. Jey tried to choke out Seth like he did Gunther for the win. Seth slips out of it. Braun is just laughing at one point because he's like, I think it's after Seth tried to pin Jey and failed. Braun just started laughing because he was seeing how crazy both dudes were. Rollins was pleading to the official. Braun Breaker got involved and knocked Jey down off the rope. His balls hit the rope, which would probably hurt. Let Seth get the advantage. He hit the stomp again, but he didn't get the whole thing. Jey got his head out of the way. I did too. 100% thought it was over.
There were so many times I thought this match was over. This match was so good.
Wade Barrett did good though. He was like, "Oh, we didn't get the entire thing. I didn't get."
Yeah. He did.
Sami Zayn, his music hits. I love Sami. Sometimes I love Sami. Other times it's like, dude, this guy again. This episode, I love Sami. He comes into the audience and attacks Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's like, "Come on, come on!" And you know that black hoodie. You can't come out from the audience without the black hoodie. Seth reaches down and tries to stop Sami from attacking Braun. Super kick into the spear on Seth from Jey. And then he gets up on the rope and finishes it off with this frog splash. I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Sami's interruption.
Yeah, Jey won.
It just let Jey win. But no, Seth kicks out of that too, which made no sense to me.
Bro, and it's like I knew coming into this match, I knew somebody was coming out. Somebody was gonna interfere. The match was gonna be a DQ. I just knew. But then Seth would hit a stomp, and I'm like, oh shit, Seth is about to win. Then Jey hit the spear, super kick spear splash. I'm like, holy shit, Seth is about to get pinned. Because I just couldn't see Jey losing this early, but I couldn't see Seth getting pinned. So I knew somebody had to come out. And I didn't even think of Sami Zayn. I was only thinking CM Punk. I didn't even think of Sami Zayn. I thought he was going to be gone for a couple of weeks after what they did to him. But this was a great time. Sorry, continue. What?
It was just beautiful. It was just so beautiful. And when Seth kicked out, okay, that part wasn't beautiful because if Jey is hitting all of that on Seth and he still kicks out,
I didn't mind it.
Then Jey. But what the fuck is he gonna do to beat Seth? Like cleanly, he can't. That's his whole repertoire.
I didn't mind it. It is what it is.
Unless the chokeout just becomes like his way of winning.
Fuck no, I hope not.
When Seth kicks out, CM Punk's music hits. The crowd goes bonkers. Braun Breaker walks over to the entrance. Punk throws him the chair and then kicks the shit out of the chair. Braun falls on his ass. He takes Seth out with the chair, calls off the match. And then he beats the shit out of Seth and Braun Breaker with the chair, runs them off, and Jay and Punk stand tall to end it, and Jay Punk and Sammy stand tall to end it. Does this last until War Games?
I don't
No chance, right?
maybe, but I think Roman would have to be involved or something. But I don't think they're doing War Games this year. I don't think. I think it's just traditional Survivor Series. I don't think it's War Games this year. I heard. I don't think it's War Games, which I'm fine with, to be honest. But yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think it'll last that long. And then you had your boy after the show ended, sucker punching
Logan
Jey
Paul
Uso.
punched the shit out of Jay
I don't.
because
That's
he
weird. Like,
felt disrespected.
because I thought that match was gonna happen at Backlash, but I don't know. I guess it's not happening anymore at Backlash. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it was a
And it was
great
funny.
main event.
Have you watched any of Logan Paul's like YouTube videos?
No, his vlogs with the other people. I know people say they love him, but no, I haven't seen any of them.
They're really good. But he's just watching the match, and when Paul Heyman went out there and Seth Rollins was out there and everything, Logan was just looking like, why the fuck did I even come to Omaha then? And that would be my exact sentence. Like, he obviously had to have known what was going to happen, but
For sure.
I'd be pissed if I flew there just to have one measly little segment at the
That
end.
wasn't even on TV, just on Twitter
True.
afterwards. Yeah, I'd definitely be pissed too. The fuck
Backlash.
Backlash. You got the match card up?
What do you want to start with?
I don't care.
Women's Intercontinental Championship: Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm. Give me Becky.
What?
Dark is now playing golf with her friends. Joe is now playing golf with her friends. I'm probably gonna see Pooms playing golf with her friends. Suji's probably gonna play it. They're all playing golf.
So you have to play golf with friends?
Absolutely not. But yeah, give me Becky to give me Becky to win this. I think Becky wins it because Bayley interferes.
My prediction is that Darko gets last in golf with friends.
For sure.
All right. And Dark, if you see this, you're ass at golf with friends. If Becky loses or if Becky wins this match, I'll be frustrated. Lyra should not lose.
I think
But you can't let Becky come back, immediately take Bayley out of fucking WrestleMania, and then reward her with a championship. Becky's one of my all-time favorite women, but that would just be fucking bogus.
Yeah, I think Becky wins because Bayley comes back and tries to help Lyra, but ends up screwing her or something, and then Becky wins.
Bayley's 100% involved.
100%.
Intercontinental Championship: Dominic Mysterio versus Penta.
Dom's winning. This was so just last minute thrown together. Dom's winning. No way he loses.
100% shenanigans will occur.
For sure.
I'm sure at least two people will get involved, not counting Judgment Day.
Yeah, and then the ref will do the big fucking throw everybody out that's in the Judgment Day. But yeah, Dom's gonna win in the end.
Yeah, there's no way Dom loses this fast, especially to fucking Penta. Gunther, Pat McAfee.
Give me the motherfucking upset. I can't even do it. Give me Gunther. He's gonna whoop his ass. It's gonna be a quick match. I think it's literally gonna be like a minute and a half long. I think Gunther just whoops his ass and gets out of there.
I think Gunther should win because he's fucking Gunther. But I wouldn't be surprised if
Pat McAfee wins, I will be hot. Then I will start to agree with the people saying Gunther should not be doing this shit. Because, just a little fun little storyline just to whoop somebody's ass real quick. Sure, get some heat on him. But if Gunther loses this match, I will be a little upset.
What if something happens for him to lose the match? Like someone interferes or something?
No, that shit should happen after the match then. If somebody's going to interfere, that should happen after the match. Gunther should whoop Pat McAfee's ass. Whoop his ass. Should absolutely obliterate him. And then the bell's still ringing and he's still choking him out or some shit.
You think we ever see Wade again? Like wrestling?
I don't think so.
Because him versus Pat McAfee, or him versus Gunther could be fun.
I thought when I last thought it was going to happen, I thought it was going to be him and Drew. But that never amounted to anything, so I don't think it happens.
Speaking of Drew, United States Championship match: Fatu, Drew, LA Knight, Damian Priest.
Jacob Fatu.
Pitiful way.
Easily. They have built him up way too much for him to lose it.
They've built him up
right. Drew just doesn't feel right in the United States title picture, bro. He doesn't feel right here, bro. It's just so weird. I'd rather him be in this match and the title wasn't on the line. It's just so weird seeing Drew go after the mid-card title because we have that part-time ass champion. If Cody was still champ, Drew could go after Cody, but the champion is never fucking here, so Drew got to go for the fucking U.S. championship. Fuck. Bring back QB1. But yeah, give me Fatu.
Pretty much if Drew is in a match ever, I'll probably pick Drew. He's like the Ravens, so give me Drew. But I probably mentally would agree with Fatu. To close the show, we're getting baby back bitch ass little hoe bag versus the greatest of all time.
Give me Baby Bake's little bitch ass hoe ass. Give me him to retain and continue being Mr. 17.
I wrote John, comma unfortunately, because
I think
there's
this
just no
match is
way they
gonna
make
be.
John
I think
lose
this match
already.
might be ass. To be honest, I don't think John can go anymore, man. After seeing what happened at Mania, I just don't know if
Especially
John
with
can
someone
go.
old like Randy who
And
can't carry him. Like Punk can't, or not Punk. Cody
Cody,
can carry, but I don't know,
I
man.
just don't.
Come
I
on,
think
man.
this match is gonna be purely just nostalgia because Randy can wrestle his ass off still, but John, I just don't think got it anymore. So I think this is just gonna be a bunch of nostalgia, but I think John wins in the end.
Interferences.
I don't think so. I don't think so. If there's an interference, I think it's Cody. But I think that may be like an after the match thing or something. But I don't even think Cody comes back yet. But so I don't think there's any interference. I think Cena just wins.
Fair enough. In my heart of hearts, I want to pick Randy, but
For
I
sure.
know how this shit
In
go.
St. Louis. But yeah, it's just setting up for the heartbreak just to make John Cena an even bigger heel.
It's like
Fuck
when
you, Cena.
Sammy was going for it in Quebec against
Against
Roman.
Roman, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate y'all for watching.
Yep.
Tune in again next week. We're sorry for this dropping on a damn Friday, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. We'll see you guys
See
next
you
week
next week at
someday.
some point.
Yeah, no,
Love
literally.
ya.
Peace.